Is doubling down on wanting to send the National Guard to San Francisco this morning on Fox News.
He said that, quote, unquestioned power comes from his ability to invoke what's called the Insurrection Act, a federal law that dates back to 1807.
The dean of UC Berkeley Law weighs in on this issue.
A federal district court judge has said the use of the troops in Los Angeles violated federal law. A judge in Portland said the use of the National Guard there violated federal law. And a judge in Chicago has said the use of troops there violated federal law. The federal statute, the Posse Comitatus Act from 1878, specifically says federal troops can't be used for domestic law enforcement. It's clear that President Trump is not paying any attention to these decisions. His Solicitor General has asked the Supreme Court to review the Chicago order. My hope is that the courts will continue to say that this is illegal and that President Trump, like all presidents before him, will obey the order.
Gavin Newsom responded almost immediately to Trump's comments this morning, writing, quote, fact check. Nobody wants you here. While State Senator Scott Wiener said he knows exactly what it's all about.
About punishing people in cities that he perceives to be his enemies. Crime is way higher in Bakersfield than it is in San Francisco, but he's not talking about sending the military to Bakersfield. It's about punishing Democrats.
As for how San Franciscans themselves feel about all this,
Amanda Harry spoke with some local community organizers to find out.
People in Chicago and the people in places like
President Donald Trump is once again saying he'll send troops to San Francisco, claiming he has unquestioned power under the Insurrection Act. The statement comes less than 24 hours after no King's marches happened across the country.
America is very much anti-king and always has been since 1776.
Adam Sheehan is part of Indivisible SF, the group that helped organize the No Kings March in San Francisco. More than 100,000 people showed up in SF alone for the nonviolent day of action to defend democratic norms and reject authoritarianism.
Well, clearly he noticed us.
Sheehan believes Trump is making these comments in reaction to the success of Saturday's marches. The White House did release a statement in response to multiple media inquiries saying, quote, who cares? Sheehan says Indivisible SF and other organizations are preparing just in case Trump does target San Francisco.
We're ready to actually peacefully protect our communities if they do come and do show up along those lines. We're actually teaming up with Bay Resistance to start talking about what we actually can do together to actually make sure everyone is kept safe so that if they do show up that they don't feel threatened by them, or people that do feel threatened about them, but we actually make sure they feel safe.
Chairwoman of the California Republican Party, Corinne Rankin, doesn't believe President Trump is overstepping and all the concerns are unnecessary.
I think voters across the United States voted for President Trump. He won. That's why he's in office. It's clear that we don't have a kingdom here in the United States because people voted. We've had President Trump, we had President Biden, we have President Trump again.
But drug recovery advocate Tom Wolf has a different take on Trump's statement.
This is just Trump doubling down on that kind of opening. And that opening really has been created by San Francisco and California's response to the drug crisis and the homeless crisis that we see on our streets.
He doesn't want to see armed troops walking down the Embarcadero, but he does think the city should work with the federal government and ask for other resources to improve the drug issues in the city.
What we want is San Francisco and our law enforcement and our judges and our criminal justice system to do its job and hold the organized drug dealers, DEA agents, U.S. Marshals, Department of Justice. I would like to see a whole lot more of that. So we don't have to see troops on the ground, but we can see more federal agents on the ground busting the organized drug dealers and helping to clean up our streets.
But Sheehan doesn't want federal intervention on any level, and he's gearing up to help push back against it.
Rebellions are built on hope. And everything that has going on, you have to have hope and joy in your heart. Joy and protest is part of protesting.